everyone, it's Melissa. Today I'm going to do a video that I've been thinking about for a long time, and so I really wanted to do it, and so I decided to just go ahead and do it. I'm titling it 50 years ago today, but really it was 50 years ago on April 20th, last Friday. So Friday was my birthday, and I got some wonderful things, and I got some things sent to me from a couple of friends, which I am so grateful for. I always, if anybody asks if they can send me anything, I always say no. Not because I'm not grateful for it, but I'm too grateful. It makes me feel guilty. I don't want you spending your money on me, and you know, I'd rather you spend it on yourself or give to someone else. So I'm very, very grateful, but a couple of people had already had my address, and so they did send me some presents, and I am so grateful. You know who you are, you know I love you, and I really, really appreciate it so much. One of them is this beautiful necklace. I won't say your names, but you know who you are. This beautiful necklace and this beautiful top. I just love it, and I love everything that I got, so thank you so much. Anyway, so I wanted to do this video because 50 years ago today, or 50 years ago last Friday, I started wearing makeup, and it was my 13th birthday. I got some powder, I got some eyeshadow, and I got some lip gloss, and I was hooked. That was it. I was a makeup person since then. I've worn for the last 50 years, except when I've been sick or maybe taken an occasional weekend off or been piddling around the house. I've pretty much worn makeup every single day. And I've gone through all the different phases. I've seen different trends come and go. I've tried all kinds of different things. I was an avid beauty magazine reader, so I would always try to keep up to date on what the trends were. So I thought it might be fun on this 50th anniversary of me wearing makeup to talk about the different the different ways I did my makeup over the years, the trends that I followed, the things that I attempted to do, and it would just be kind of a 50-year wrap-up, nostalgic look back. So like I said, I really want to do it. I hope that it's not too boring, and I thank you so much for your indulgence on this. I will try not to make it too long. So I started wearing makeup in 1968 on my 13th birthday. I got some powder and some, like I said, some lip gloss and stuff. So I did that for about a year and just really enjoyed it so much. And then when I was 14, we moved from Tennessee to Western Kentucky, and I started a new school. So I kind of wanted to reinvent myself. You know, I really think makeup is just such a fun thing. It's just a little way to be creative, and it's a way to just kind of express myself and just have fun and just feel like I'm making the most of myself. That's just kind of fun for me to do, but it has no reflection on who the type of person I am inside or anything. It's just something fun to do. So I moved to this new town, and I just jumped right in. So I started wearing, I was 14, and I started wearing false eyelashes every day and eyeliner, and I remember I had this medicine. My face was trying to break out, so I had this medicine. It was like sulfur based, and you would add these drops of color to it and get it to match your color of your skin, and then it would keep, you know, it would help to dry up your pimples. And so I use this medicine for my foundation. So I remember I would wear my hair pulled back a lot, and if I ever find any pictures of me wearing any of these looks, I'll just insert them quickly. But I remember I would wear my hair pulled back a lot, and we had these like hair pieces that would fit up underneath where we pulled our hair back, and it would give a lot of height at the, you know, right here at the crown. I liked that, and you know, everybody wore their hair like that back then. So I did the false eyelashes every single morning at 14, and I remember I didn't wear mascara because I never could find a mascara. I think Maybelline was the main one back then. Maybe the Great Lash, I think it was in the pink and the green thing. And I think Bonnie Bell was the blush that I used. It came in a pot. It may have been a blush, and I used it on my lips too. I can remember that. And it was just sort of a pinkish, sort of a see-through color. But I mainly focused on my eyes, and I would the mascaras would always smear on me, so I used false eyelashes, and I can still find them today. I used those Maybelline lashes, and they were so easy to get on, and they still are the easiest lashes to take off and on. They're really, really simple to get on. So I would use that, and I didn't use mascara because I would use them over again, and so I wanted to keep them clean. So I would put the eyelashes on, and I remember I had this cake eyeliner. So I would take the little brush that came with it, and I would add a little water, and I would line, I didn't like do a wing, but I would line it near the band of the eyelashes. So I would line it on each side, and then I would put it back in the little case that it came in and shut it. Then I would do some more of the rest of my makeup, and then I would open it back up again. It had dried out just a little bit, and whatever was left over from doing my top eyeliner, I would kind of smear underneath. And I would wear like a light turquoise frosted shadow, or a frosted light blue eyeshadow, and pink lipstick and pink blush. So then a couple of years after that, I guess I was about 15, then I started getting into the big doe-eyed look, and the flower children type thing. So I would part my hair in the middle and wear it perfectly straight. I would iron it on an ironing board. My mother would help me. I would put it on an ironing board and place a towel over it, and then iron it so it wouldn't burn my hair. So I'd wear my hair really, really straight. And then I wanted great big eyes, and I remember I would wear this, I would wear concealer underneath my eyes that was white. It came in like a white lipstick tube, and so I'd wear that underneath my eyes to make them look even brighter and more springy and all that kind of stuff, and doe-eyed. And so then I would put lots of mascara on, and the mascara still smeared on me, but I would just got in the habit of throughout the day just kind of wiping underneath my eyes, because I knew that the mascara would be smeared. So I would put the mascara on, and then for eyeshadow, I would put Vaseline on instead of eyeshadow, because I thought it made my eyes, look more sparkly and wider and bigger and doe-eyed and all that kind of stuff. Then I got married, and then I remember like in the mid-70s, like about 75, everything turned brown. So, we had shag carpet. My husband and I had shag carpet, and we had, I wore brown, and we had like those avocado, kind of an olive green appliances. Everything was orange and green and brown during that time in the mid-70s. So I remember I did my makeup. I had this eyeshadow, and it was by Max Factor, and it was a dark brown. So I would take it, and I would take the little sponge applicator and put it all over my lid. And then, and by this time I had gone to yellow concealer. I remember I got Mary Kay concealer. It was in a round little tub type thing. So I would put the yellow concealer up here and up underneath my eyes, and then I would take the brown, eyeshadow and put it all over my lid. I would do a one color look. Then I would wet it and put it all underneath my eyes to give it, to make my eyes look sort of bigger and everything. But it had to be brown because everything was brown then. And I remember my lipstick was a real bronzy color, and I think I used it on my cheeks too. It was real bronzy, kind of a deep bronzy color, because it stayed in that brown family. And then in the 80s, the early 80s, I discovered Color Me Beautiful. So I had my colors done, and then you could buy palettes, eyeshadow palettes and lipstick colors. I think that was through Beauty Control. And so I bought the different eyeshadow palettes and stuff that would go with what the season I was. And they said I was a winter. So I started wearing all of these. By this time I had gone through my divorce, and I had remarried Doug, and I was working. So I remember I started wearing all these jewel tones. I wore these deep emerald greens because that was part of the winter palette, and these big shoulder pads because it was the 80s and everything was bigger. It was the era of Dynasty and Dallas. So I'd wear these big shoulder pads and these deep jewel colors of beautiful reds and those deep blues and the deep greens. And there would be silk blouses, and I would tuck them into my black skirts, and boy, I thought I was snazzy, and I thought I was, Miss Business Lady and everything. And so I did my eyeshadow palette. I wore the grays and the whites and the blacks and just the real cool colors, because that was part of my palette, kind of what I got on now. And that was part of my palette. So I did a real smoky, bold eye, but I also did a real bold lip. So I did both of them. You're supposed to do just like one or the other, but I did both. So my lipstick would be like a deep red or a burgundy or a bright fuchsia. It would be those cool colors that went with my winter palette. And I remember I would take that black eyeshadow and wet it again and put it underneath my eyes. So I had a whole lot of makeup on my eyes and a whole lot of makeup on my lips. And I think I even had on like red blush. So I really piled on the makeup to get my season appropriate, the way it was supposed to be. So after that, I went into the 90s and I discovered MAC. So I remember for the longest time I wore MAC. There was this MAC pink eyeshadow, and I would put it on all over my eyelid, all the way up to my brow bone, but I'd blend it out over my brow bone. And then I would take Broom, which is a deep brown, and I would put it in my, I remember I'd do the windshield wiper thing back and forth and put it in my crease. And then I put it in the outer V, and then I would wet it again and put it on underneath my eyes. And I did a little bit of the inside the lower waterline. I would do a light gray or a light brown. I remember starting to do that then in the 90s. But that's when I discovered MAC. And I remember Doug and I took a trip to New York, and I found one of the MAC stores, you know, the standalone stores there. They made me up, and that was just such a big thrill for me to be able to do that at the MAC counter. Then I discovered Sephora, and I discovered all the different palettes. I remember I tried some Dior foundation. I tried some Giorgio Armani foundation, and I tried all the different eyeshadow palettes that had come together through Sephora. And you know, I was hooked, and after that I started my YouTube channel. So I guess the rest is kind of history. But it's been a fun way to express myself. I can't imagine myself not ever wanting to wear makeup, hopefully as I get older and older. It's just, you know, just sitting around thinking about it and thinking about looking through old pictures and thinking about the different ways that I did my makeup over the years and the different looks I was going for according to what was going on in our times. You know, we went through a natural phase, but I never did go natural, but I did my makeup in more earthy tones. Then I went through a bold phase, you know, where everything was big, and, you know, we had Dynasty and Dallas and all those kind of stuff, and Knots Landing. So we were all very bold and you know, very bright colors. So I think our makeup sort of over the past 50 years has reflected what was going on around us. So I appreciate you watching this and indulging me in it. It's just something that I really wanted to do. It was fun for me to look back and just kind of think about how long I have really used makeup and really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye.